What's up, YouTube? It's Mike from House of Dula. I have something you guys have to know about. Stay tuned. You might be wondering why I'm yet again removing my dash. Well, I'm taking the dash cluster out so I can take the speedometer out. And did you guys know ASC McLaren is still a thing? So you know ASC McLaren Capris, right? Okay, if you don't know about that, look them up. I'm sure you do. If you're a Foxbody guy, you know that ASC McLaren back in the 80s took some Capris and actually some later ones that were actually made from Mustangs, but you know, they were quite a unique car. Slant back windshield, different ground effects, really cool colors, of course. Anyways, it's not about the car. So a gentleman by the name of Henry Huseman actually purchased the rights for ASC McLaren and actually has purchased his warehouse out in Florida containing nothing but ASC McLaren parts and Foxbody Mustang parts, guys. And I'm talking about shelves stock full of new parts still in the box. So Henry used to also work for ASC McLaren, building them and doing the conversion from the Capris to the ASC McLaren car that we know. Henry is insanely knowledgeable. I had a pleasure of working with Henry for a little bit on the phone and talking to him, and this guy is just a book of walking knowledge for ASC McLaren cars, as he should be, because he used to actually work for the assembly line and would help prep the cars, or I guess get the cars built for ASC McLaren. And one of his jobs was to recalibrate the speedometer. So just being part of the Mustang community that I'm in, a gentleman by the name of Gary Scott, this is one of Henry's partners that works for ASC McLaren, reached out to me, and we have kept in touch now for quite some time, just on and off. He's pretty interested, I think, in the Eagle Brews and some of the stuff we've done on the channel. And they've been some really cool guys just to keep in touch with. The Foxbody community as a whole has always just continued to blow my mind. But Gary and I have been talking. But what you do not know and what you need to know is that, guys, if you're looking for an upgraded speedometer, okay, all of us are. If you own a Foxbody Mustang, you know they go to 85 miles an hour. If you're lucky enough to have an SSP, or I believe a Cobra, they go to 160 or 140. But did you know ASC McLaren in Florida can actually take your existing speedometer and recalibrate it and reface it for 140 miles an hour or 160 miles an hour? You don't have to go sourcing for one. You don't have to go looking for an SSP. They're hard to find. They're getting harder to find. They're also expensive. Guys, you need to know this. I didn't know that. I started talking to Gary, and it turns out one of the services they offer is converting your speedometer to 140 miles an hour. They reface it and everything. They put a new plate on it, they recalibrate it, and they send it off to you. It's a real simple process. You send them your speedometer, they ship it back. And guess what? It's 150 bucks. That's it. You send them your Speedo, they'll send it back, and it's got 140 miles an hour ready to go. Because the man that is doing it is the man that used to do it for ASC McLaren and used to convert Ford speedometers to 140 miles an hour and get them calibrated and ready to go for top speed awesomeness. We're going to talk more about this, but first thing I need to do is get this out and get it shipped off to them in Florida. Got my cluster out here, guys, from 86 here, and we're going to go into detail about their services and the speedometer. But real quick, I just want to show you how to remove yours. If you haven't seen the video before, we did a video on refacing these. As you can see, they look very good. They still look very good. This is just a simple reface kit from LMR. It also comes with paint to repaint your needles. So I did refresh this, but this is not about that. If you want to see that video, go back and watch that video. Okay. All right, I'm just going to use a 1/4 inch here. And we're going to go around and remove the clamshell here all the way around. So there is a screw here, there, here, up here, right there, and on the corner there. And the process for your 87 to 93 cars is the same. And yes, they do it for 87 to 93 cars as well. Okay, all the screws are removed. Before we go about removing this thing, I want to make note of this. I learned something new after talking to Gary Scott for a little bit. Tachometer. Every tachometer I've seen on a 4-eyed car, okay, has this 4, 6, 8, but that's not true. Apparently not all of them have that. Check this out. Guys, if you have 4, 6, and 8 here, it sounds like to me that this is going to be calibrated for 4, 6, and 8 cylinder cars. depending on which switch you can move it to, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. But the point is, if it has this, ASC McLaren can also recalibrate your tachometer to 8,000 RPM. Okay, now that's unique. They can't do it from the 87 and 93 cars, but if you have a 4i car with 4, 6, and 8 here, they can actually recalibrate this to $8,000 and reface it as well. I don't know anyone else that is doing that on a stock cluster for a 4i car. So just FYI, if you guys want to wrap your engine up that high, or if you just want to look cool and have an 8K RPM or 8K tachometer, then have at it, guys. You could take this out, you could also ship it to them, and they can recalibrate your tachometer as well. Printed circuit board on the back can get very brittle and break, so just kind of be careful here. All right. Okay, I'm going to flip it around here to the back side of it, but just be careful. Don't go throwing this thing down on a table or watch your fingers, because you could bend these. You could really kind of mess up. These are real fragile. Just kind of be careful. I'm going to lean this like this, and we're going to just take out the 2 1/4-inch screws here holding in our speedometer. That's it. Now this should come right out. So I carefully packaged my speedometer up, sent it off to them, and just really a few days later, guys, boom. I'm not even joking. This turnaround was incredibly fast. Less than a week, I got this thing back. And I'm not gonna lie, it was packaged better than this. It was in double boxes. I've already looked at it, but isn't this box cool? Check this box out. Yeah, it's an old Ford box, man. Got the ASC logo on it there too. Anyways, check it out. Just like that, boom. Guys, we have a 140 mile an hour speedometer, and it's calibrated and ready to go. Do you know what's cool about this? Is that it's mine. This is the one that came with the car. It matches my mileage. If you buy a used one, of course, you're going to have to deal with the mileage. So ASC McLaren, again, you're going to hear me say this name a lot. They offer the service, of course, to recalibrate your speedometer, but they can also change your mileage if you would want to go that route. So let's say you have a new build, fresh build, new motor, and you want to reset your odometer to zeros. They can zero it out. Or let's say you've got a damaged speedometer and you want to replace it and get yours to match while also upgrading to 140 miles an hour. They can also do that. So that is a service they can also offer. They can match your mileage. In this case, this is my speedometer, so it matches my mileage. And also, my speedometer is in incredibly good shape, as you can see here. According to, actually talking to Gary and Henry, according to them, you know, these plates will actually get rusted. They'll have a lot of problems with these plates coming in with, you know, pitted or really bad shape. So what they will do, and they didn't do this on mine because it was a good shape, but they will actually, for that 150, reface this. Not only reface your, you know, your decal here to match 140 miles an hour, but also use a new metal plate, a new stamping here, in case yours is in bad shape. Mine's in great shape, so they didn't have to do that. But they will re-rivet it. Okay, this will be unriveted. They'll replace the plate, and they will go in here and do their magic that recalibrates the speedometer to 140 miles an hour. You got to watch the needle there, guys. The needle can actually slip. If you bump the needle, see, you can actually get it off. So they do slip. So you want to make sure you rotate this on the stop right here and just kind of just make sure that stays on zero. Okay. So anyways, man, look at this. It's going to look amazing. It matches my gauges perfectly. I am super happy with the way this thing came out. It looks brand new, and I love the idea of taking this instead of buying a used one. It is worth mentioning that you can also send the whole cluster, and they can replace the speedometer for you or even restore the entire cluster. Let's say you have broken tabs or a scratched plastic screen or even an ammeter is not working. They will be happy to do the entire thing for you and ship it back. Now, I didn't mention that you could do these on your arrow nose cars. Also, they recalibrate those, so it's not just the 4i cars here, guys. We're talking about your 87 and 93 cars as well. They can also recalibrate the speedometer to 140. And check this out, if you have an arrow nose car, I believe they can also recalibrate the speedo to 160 miles an hour. Now, I don't know how much that costs. I think it costs just a few dollars more, but they can do that as well. Unfortunately, on the 4i cars here, on your 79 to your 86, they can take it from 85 to 140. Now, don't forget, they have different nameplates, right? So, of course, mine being an 86 is going to have, you know, your white lettering with orange. your white lettering here with, of course, the orange needles and the orange inner lettering here, because this is going to be unique to, I believe, 83 through 86. Of course, your 79 and 80 through 82 cars are going to have the ivory and the green backlit, the ivory needles and the green font as well. So they will all, of course, match your year that you bring in, or if you wanted to switch, they could do that as well. So if you want to bring in your, let's say, 86 gauge cluster, or you had an extra, 86, 85, 86 speedometer, you wanted to use it as a donor to turn into a 140, but you wanted it refaced for your 81, they can do that as well.
Also, while we're on the topic of speedometers, let's not forget to talk real quick just about why everything was stuck to 85 miles an hour up to 1990. This is all for government mandated laws that indicated or that required vehicles to not be listed with any kind of markings or lettering over 85 miles an hour. So everything in the 80s is pretty much stuck at 85 miles an hour. However, Ford found a loophole with the SVO Mustang, and as you can see here, they have 85 at the top with the indicator and the markings proceeding to go to what looks like to be 140. However, they just couldn't label the numbers. Was this illegal? Maybe, maybe not. But let's not forget about this unique speedometer as well.
Okay, it's going to be snug. Don't need to over torque these. It is just holding in a speedometer, nothing crazy. Now is a good time to use some compressed air. Blow this out gently. Make sure everything is clean. Also blow out the inside of here and clean up your gauge cluster while you got it out, guys. Go ahead and put some polish on it. All right, man. In Texas heat, this doesn't get any easier, but it's back in and it looks amazing. Yes, I know my lights look awesome. There's a whole video on the LED conversion. It's super old, but go check that out if you like. Boom. Say what's up, bud.
What's up?
All right, we got GPS here, and yeah, we're gonna see if it's on or off. Here we go. Well, it works. 23, 26, almost at 25. Okay, that's good. Taking this little girl out. I think I got some bad gas in there or something. All right, here we go, Connor. 25?
28, 32.
I want to get to 40. I want to get to 40 right now. That's 40.
Yeah, that's 40. That's
42,
42.
okay. I'm a little above 40 right there, see? 43. Yeah, I'd say it's good. I don't think it's perfectly spot on because my tire size is bigger, but I've got the right gear ratio in the transmission for the 373 gears. I got the right tooth. So yeah, man. Here, let's go 55. I love this speedometer, dude. It's awesome going 55 and the speedometer's not like way over here. Okay, what's it say, Connor? That's 55. 51.
52.
50. Okay, there it goes. See, I think the speedometer app is a little slow responding. That's what I think, because it really depends on the amount of GPS signal. Dude, let's get on the highway. Actually, turn the AC on first and then get on the highway. Okay, we're doing about 50. 48. Okay.
49.
49. I'd say that's working, Connor. What do you think?
Yeah.
Dude, look at it. What do you think? Huh? You remember you used to go to 85?
Yeah.
Now it goes to 140 because car will do 140, so it's worth it. I don't know if I want to do 140 in it,
But you can.
but I can. I know it will.
I'm not.
You're not. I found a spot. Yeah, guys, it's totally worth it, man. Hey, get your speedometer recalibrated. It's my opinion. It's totally worth it. Plus, they rebuild it. They set it the way you want it. Put the face on it you want. Guys, and that's a success, man. What do you think? What do you like it? Looks cool. Looks cool. 140 looks better than 80. If you're a kid and you look inside of a car and you see its top speed is 85, what are you gonna think? Slow. But if you look inside a car and it says 140, what do you think? Fast. It looks cool. It works great. Listen, man, those guys are awesome to work with. The turnaround time was incredibly fast. Thank you so much, Gary. Thank you so much, Henry from ASC McLaren. I'm happy to be friends with those guys now because they're just a great people, super knowledgeable, and they have been great to work with. And like I said, the turnaround time was incredibly fast. So hey, go get yours done. This is not a paid promotion, okay? I like the service. I wanted to share it to you, okay? They're not paying me to do this for you guys. I just wanted to share my love, that's all. But go get this done. Go get yourself a speedometer, 140. Go get yours recalibrated. No need to go out and buy another one. Thank you again, Gary and Hank/Henry from ASC McLaren for doing that service for me, getting that speedometer. It's cool. Hey guys, if you want to go get that speedometer, make sure to just go to the website, call the number, send them an email. That's the best way to get a hold of them, okay? You got the website, you can call them, you got the email information, you can always email them and they can respond back. I would just give them a shout, let them know what you're trying to do, and work with them. They'll get it done for you, get you all the pricing, all that kind of stuff. That's pretty cool. Hey, you like this shirt? Check this shirt out, huh? You know, from sporting the House of Doula shirt. Hey, this is a legit shirt that we had printed for 2023 Fox Fest. I've got some left over. This is a badass shirt. It's a design I made of the 86. It's got the Texas license plate and the House of Doula in the back with a Mustang logo. It's pretty cool, and this shirt is a 50-50 poly cotton blend. It is not cheap, and these are super comfortable, super soft. I'm a picky t-shirt man, and this design is a real screen print, and it's not printed on demand like Teespring. Stay away from the Teespring stuff, really, from the YouTube channel down here. This is actually from me. You can get this from houseofdoula.com. I have them in-house here, ready to ship. I've got extras left over, so if you want one, go to houseofdoula.com, make an order, and I'll ship it out to you as soon as I can, which will be probably next day, really quickly. But do that, give me a shout, give the channel some love. Hey, follow me on Instagram, and also go to houseofdoula.com, like I said, because there's all kinds of other information I'm planning on putting out in the future. It's gonna be more than just YouTube stuff. I'm gonna kind of embed more to it. So go check out houseofdoula.com, go to Instagram, and yeah, do that. Hey, keep wrenching on the Foxbodies. We got more coming on Eagle Brews here. Take care.